Hello everybody and very well welcome back to the channel once again. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Aerosoft CRJ version 2 for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. This is going to be my quick start guide from the cold and dark state up to being airborne, so sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Okay then, welcome to the flight deck of the CRJ 700. We're going to start off by getting the aircraft all powered up and ready to go before starting to plug some information into the 𝗦𝗃𝗃 or FMS ready for our flight over to LaGuardia today. So then, coming to the overhead panel to start off with, we want to get our battery master switch on. Now, when you first spawn in, you'll notice the external power, which is here, will not have an available sign, which is completely normal. You just have to go over to the iPad, go into the aircraft page, and then connect the ground power cart. Then you have a green available light, and we can go ahead and activate that. Then we're going to get our nav light and our logo light on, followed by the hydraulic pumps. So if we just click them all, they'll all go to auto, on, auto, auto, which is correct. Air conditioning, we can get that turned on, and the recirc fan as well. Windshield heats, we can get those to low, and pro heats can go on. No smoking sign, of course, going on. Seatbelt signs to auto, and the emergency exit light can be armed. And that really is the overhead panel pretty much complete. There isn't too much to it. It's quite a simple aircraft in terms of systems, but it's quite a handful in the air considering there's no auto throttle. Taking a look back at the tablet once again, we are going to take a look at the options over to the next page and make sure you import your pilot ID from SimBrief just so you can utilise the SimBrief integrated systems. So we're going to go ahead, import our operational flight plan, and we can send that to the FMS, and we can set our payload and fuel. So what that has now done is it's set our payload in here, and if we look at the FMS, we've already got some information down here. Coming down to this console, then we're going to get the ADIRS, the IRS systems, both to nav. So left side nav, right side nav, just like so. And here's the recommendation: if you click Control 1, it will hide the speed brake lever and give you this nice view, so you can easily hit the clear button. Let's go to the index page then, over to pause init. Now the key thing for the CRJ is to provide it as much information as you can. So we are here on the ground in Montreal, and the ICAO code is Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima. Pop that in there. Gate we are at today is 75. Gate 75, I think. We'll double check that. Yep, gate 75 it is. Lovely, and then we can go ahead, go to the next page, grab the GNSS1 position, and pop that in the set position page. As you can see, that aligns the IRS. If in the tablet you have the settings set so it takes some time for the IRS to align, that may just take a little bit longer, but I've got it set to instant, so it is instantaneous for us today. So we've got the flight plan information in as we programmed it via the iPad. So we're going to go to the departures and arrivals page first. We're going to be departing off of runway 06 right today, and we are not using the SID, so we can go ahead and just click execute like so. For the arrivals then, we could go back to the departure and arrival index, select arrivals, and then we're going to be on the ILS runway 04 approach via the HARP 3 arrival and the Alpha Lima Bravo transition. Let's go ahead and execute that, and that's plugged a bit more information into here. and we've got a vector there, so we're going to just delete that like so, and that's all in nicely. Next we need to go to the VNAV page. This is where we can alter some settings. So I quite like going to climb at 270 knots, and of course our transition altitude is 18,000 and a constraint of 250 knots until 10,000. Over to the next page then, we are going to target 300 knots speed, and our cruising altitude today is flight level 360. So we can put, oh, flight level 360 in here. Just like so. Go ahead, click execute, back to the index page, into pos init. We'll go to the perf init page. Cruising altitude flight level 360. We need to plug a bit more information into there. So if we go to performance, set the payload in the simulator, which should be correct. As we imported it, we've got 70 passengers on board with us today, 9,054 pounds of fuel, and in total 3,500 pounds of cargo, which is perfect. So we can go ahead and copy perf init data to FMS, and as you can see, that page there is all populated for us. So then we are going to go to the MFD menu. I don't like having the airports personally, so we're going to remove that, but I do quite like having the ETA and the altitude and speed, which is good. We're going to turn this over to VNAV. So as you can see up here, we've got a bit more information from the VNAV, which is good. We like to see that. And that is pretty much everything with the FMS. We can then go ahead and start the APU. So this is the APU panel here. What we first select is the power fuel button. Just pan down here and make sure that says APU in byte, which it did, but it just disappeared. And if we look outside of the aircraft, you can see that little flap has opened, which is good. Then we can go ahead and click start for the APU. Once it's ready, you will see this light goes back to available, and that will also go to available, I believe, as well. Okay, there we go. APU is available, and that has also gone to available, which is just right. If we come back down to the center console, we are going to turn these few pieces on. So the stab trim, we're going to start with the left one, then the right one, then the Mac trim, followed by yaw damper 1 and yaw damper 2. Make sure you do it in that order, otherwise you may have some issues later on. We are then going to turn this system on. This is our TCAS and our kind of transponder for the radios. So then we're going to move this over to number 1. That turns the TCAS to TARA, and you can set your squawk code in here just by selecting that and then moving this knob here. We're going to leave 2000 in there today, and we are ready to go for pushback. Okay then, pushback is underway. I think. Don't really know what happened there. So we are ready to start up our engines. So coming back over to the overhead panel, our boost pumps we are going to want to turn on, and then the beacon light, of course, as well can come on at this time. We're going to put the ignition to continuous, make sure that says on, and we're going to start up engine number 1 first. So left click and hold on the start switch, and it will automatically push back and will indicate the start light. You will see here the N2 percentage is rising, as well as the N1, which is good. Wow, that is really bright. Once we see 20% on the N2, which we do now, we're going to flick that lever up and push the throttle up to idle. Brilliant. We've got a good start on the left engine. We're going to do the exact same process for engine number 2. So hold down the button until it indicates the start light, just like so. Then we're going to wait for it to give us 20% on the N2. There we go. Flick the lever, and the thrust lever can go to idle. Oh dear. We don't want to see that happening. That is an abnormality. We need to recycle this, I guess. So start switch, just close the fuel lever. Let that jump back up to 20%, then we will just try it again. I think I must have brought the throttle back and cut off the fuel by accident. There we go, 20% up to idle, and the engine is looking normal this time, which is good. Brilliant. Another good start on the engines. So we've got 2 good engines. There go all those warnings, and we are about ready to go. So ignition can come off then. We can stop the APU and click that button again, which will hopefully close the door. Yep, there we go. Door closed. And there isn't actually anything else we really need to do with the overhead panel. All we need to do now is come over here, just hide the yoke, and let's set the local QNH or altimeter, which is 29995. So just click the button there to switch it from HPA and INHG. 29905 indicated there, just like so. And then we are going to set our takeoff speed, so we can just go ahead and click settle. I like clicking it twice just to make sure it goes in nicely. There we go, lovely. Now all we need to do is arm the nose wheel steering, and we will be ready for taxi. So final few things before taxi. We're going to set our flaps to position 8. Just like so, flaps position 8, and we will arm the reversers. All we need to do now is get our taxi light on, and we can release the parking brake. Ready to taxi out to runway 06 right today. Okay then, welcome to the runway. Let's quickly set the park brakes, and we'll discuss a few things before we go. So, we are, first of all, on departure, we're going to be clicking the takeoff button, increasing the throttles up, and then once we are ready to go, we will set toga power. Once we get airborne, pretty much immediately, we're going to be clicking the nav and the speed button, so just be prepared for that. I'm ready to go. Let's release the parking brakes. Press that takeoff button, and you can see takeoff is indicated, as well as the flight director. Let's go ahead then, increase power, and set takeoff thrust. The engines are really quiet in the CRJ, as they're quite far back behind us. Here's 100 knots. V1 and rotate. Positive rate, gear can come up. So we'll go nav and speed. Just follow the flight directors. Like so. and when you're ready you can go ahead and engage the autopilot. Brilliant, you have made it into the air with the CRJ. Unfortunately though, that means it is the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit like and subscribe for more, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of the latest CRJ update? Thank you for watching, and bye bye for now.